Sportsline Podcast. I'm Andrew Damlin, sitting in for Bubba O'Neill. After a tough start to their season, McMaster's women's basketball team is surging, looking to grab the final playoff spot in the OUA in the final week of the season. To talk about their run and her basketball journey, we have got their leading scorer and rebounder, first-year forward and Burlington native Tayler Scott. Tayler, how are you?
I'm good, Andrew. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks so much for coming in and joining us and spending a little time. And what we like to do on the Sportsline Podcast, we like to go through our athletes' sports journey, as it were.
Yes.
So growing up in Burlington, Ontario, what is your first vivid basketball memory as a kid?
My first memory was trying out for the grade 7-8 team in grade 6. I wasn't really that into basketball, if I'm being honest, when I was younger, but the coach saw me, he saw my potential. He was like, hey, come try out for the senior team. I was like, all right. So I did it, and I made the team, and I played for a little bit, but my journey in basketball kind of stopped there because I didn't find myself as into it as I was other sports such as track. So I didn't end up playing for that high school team in grade 9. I did basketball in grade 10 for the high school for a little bit. Then I joined my first rep team in grade 11, and then from there was when I started to fall in love with it.
Grade 9, you won the sprinting title in the Halton region.
Yes.
Now, on the sprinting side of things, you're a track athlete as well. That's like a different level of training, of focus. Do you remember as a kid, at what stage you might have realized, not only are you just a great natural athlete, but do you like that sort of training stuff that no one else sees on the floor, on the court, on the track? Is there a point where you realize I really like to do the work kind of behind the scenes?
Yeah, just using my sprinting ability, just being able to run fast, like anywhere, even on the basketball court, just being able to sprint full court to get the transition layups is what I really love doing. That's what I love when we're on the court. But off the court, I would say I just, I do a little bit of jogging here and there, and that's pretty much it. Just staying in touch with track a little bit is what I love.
So when I don't know if you watched the Netflix documentary about Noah Lyles, it was. Did you watch that documentary?
Yes,
and
I did.
So just the training that goes on behind the scenes, the amount of work they put in for just a single moment every 4 years for them is really the biggest moment. Obviously, at the World Championship events. Do you remember sort of a race where you stepped up and you may have had a big build-up leading up to it? And how do you handle, or have you learned how to handle those moments where it's only, 10, 12 seconds, let's say 100 meters, but you've been training for, let's say, months? Do you remember trying to ground yourself in those moments and not let the pressure get the better of you?
Just remembering my training, just trusting the process and trusting that the training that I've done is going to allow me to excel in this race, and just, staying peaceful, staying mindful, and just knowing that everything that I did building up to this moment is going to help me in this race, and just letting my abilities take over.
Is there a coach or a couple of coaches growing up that you look to and they really helped you along your journey?
Definitely. I would say all of them. I was really lucky to get such amazing coaches. I got Coach Ted, Coach Trod, Coach Kanisha, all my jewel coaches, my high school coaches, my elementary school coaches, all of them. Shout out to them. Thank you very much. And yeah, they've just been so patient with my process.
So you have this interlude of a track career in the beginning part of high school, and you get back into basketball, like you said. What drew you back to the game, and how did you make it grow into a first year now at McMaster starting for the team?
Yeah, so once again, it was all the coaches that just saw the potential in me. I feel like having good coaches that know your potential and help you get to your potential is what really makes you excel as an athlete. So just being able to get back in touch with the basketball and being able to use my track abilities actually to help me excel in basketball. Like, for example, I did long jump, rebounding, being able to jump high and grab the boards. Stuff like that is what's helped me. I
wanted to ask you about rebounding as we're watching a couple of highlights of yours. You're 14 and 10. You're averaging a double-double, and we could talk about the scoring and the different ways you get your buckets. But lots of great rebounders get asked, how do they do it? And they always say effort. And to me, that's never quite enough of an answer because I was trying really hard when I was playing in high school, and I was an okay rebounder, but there are people who seem to just have a nose for the ball, to see that they have an instinct as to where the ball is going to go, and then they have the will as well to go and get it. Just the art of rebounding. Can you explain how that's evolved for you?
I would say getting to learn your teammate's shot and getting to know when it's looking short or when it's looking long or left or right, or being able to get around your defender when they're boxing out, kind of knowing when they're going to hit early and being able to fake to the left or fake to the right to get the board, and then jumping as well to just get the board with both hands and coming back down with it.
And I want to get into your McMaster career that's going so well so far, but we were just talking before we went on the air that how you came to McMaster was kind of happenstance. Could you tell the recruiting story of how you got over to Mac?
Yes, so it was out of the blue. I was playing a game in Hamilton one time, and I remember I was just playing against the Transway team, and they were Coach Ed. He was looking to coach. He was looking to recruit Coach Izzy, and we ended up leaving the game, and I was looking for my mom and my dad, and all of a sudden, Coach Bailey comes up to us. He's like, "Hey, you played really well." I was like, "Oh, thank you so much." He was like, he gave me his email and all this stuff. We ended up keeping in contact, and then after that, I ended up falling in love with McMaster.
So you come over, and it's pretty rare for a first-year player to have such a role that you have. You're leading the team in points and rebounds, and not only that, but when I look through the game-by-game box scores, almost every game it's double digits in points. Almost every game it's close or double digits in rebounds. There's a consistency to it. It's not just one game on, one game off. Is there, maybe it's your parents, this consistency aspect of it, where does that originate for you?
Well, every game before I play, my dad calls me and he reminds me of my goals. He's like, "All right, remember, you want that Rookie of the Year, you want all these awards, but to get that, you have to keep pushing every game like you have been doing." So he reminds me, you need to aim to get 20 rebounds and you'll get at least 10 or something like that, or aim to get 30 points and you'll get at least 15. So just reminding me that before every game, and then just thinking about that while I'm playing as well. Just thinking of my goals is what helps me as well.
Now, did you expect to play this larger role with your team, or did you think you might ease your way into it as a first-year player and sort of come along and maybe in the second year be this sort of leader, or did this sort of meet or exceed your expectations going into it?
Honestly, it did exceed my expectations because I did believe in myself and I did know that I am capable of anything that I put my mind to, but at the same time, I thought that I was, still new to basketball. I really just started rep in grade 11, so I saw myself I still do look up to all the players on our team, and I'm just honestly really proud of myself, and my family's proud of myself too, just being able to get as much playing time as I do, and of course Coach Izzy, she's helped me turn into that player that is able to get the points and the rebounds that I do, and my teammates have helped me get there as well. So I'm really happy with this state.
So we've watched a couple of highlights of yours, and I want to talk about your game for a second. I'm not sure if you have a NBA or WNBA player that you may model your game after. Before I get it, is there a player that you look up to? Are you an NBA or WNBA fan?
Honestly, I would say Camila Cardosa. I remember watching her in the NCAA.
Yeah, South Carolina. She was awesome, and Leticia Mihir, the Canadian Olympian, as well, was on that South Carolina team. I'm not sure if you're an Nafisa Collier fan, former MVP of the WNBA. This inside game where you get the position, you're able to sort of get the player on your back, and you get all the leverage. You got this face-up jumper right here that Collier works on as well. Just the refining of your game, and you're only a couple of years into really taking the game seriously. How has the process of refining your on-court skills gone, and who's been the biggest influence there?
Definitely all of my coaches and all of my teammates. Just being able to communicate with my teammates and be able to ask them questions because they've experienced playing in university ball as well a bit longer than I have. So they're able to help me and tell me like, for example, protecting the ball. Like, I do it sometimes, so I'm very guilty of it. Just bringing the ball in front and letting them kind of take the ball away from me, but just having them tell me to cradle it or bring it to my side helps a lot. All my coaches just, once again, believing in me, knowing that I can do it, and just telling me what I need to know, and then just being coachable and like taking in that information.
Is there like an ultra competitive side in you as well? Because right now you are, I believe everything you're saying, and you got your coaches behind you, you got your teammates behind you, but you're, at least statistically and on the court, you're dominant out there. Like, you can't just take something that the advice everyone's giving. You got to go out and take it yourself. That sort of ultra competitiveness, am I seeing that correctly? Is that actually in you?
Yes.
Where does that come from?
I am an extremely competitive person. Growing up in my family, it would always be me, my dad, my mom, my brother, or even my grandma. My grandma she's still doing cheerleading, actually. And we're all so competitive, whether it's Uno, whether it's, a game of football on the street. We're a competitive family, I must say.
And so how does Coach Izzy sort of harness that? And, because sometimes the competitiveness can work against you, right? Can lead to frustration in different contexts. How have your coaches at the MAC and your teammates helped harness that and maybe channel it into the best way possible?
I would say just reminding me of my goals, and each game is a chance to prove yourself, and it's a chance to execute. So the more that you prove yourself and the more that you show people that you can do it, the more that you're going to be, the more successful you're going to be.
So you've had a consistently great run so far this season. I wonder if there's a game that sticks out to you. I know you had the 31-point game, your season high, career high with McMaster. But is there a game, whether it's in McMaster or during high school, that sticks out to you where, like, people like me and basketball fans, they can't relate to someone who's really feeling it? Mm-hmm. There's like 3-point shooters who are feeling it.
Yes.
What does it feel like? Is there a game you can think of where you were feeling it?
Yes. The Ottawa game, of course, the 31-point game, I was feeling it then. But it's just, it comes in like moments. Like, I remember having the ball against UFT, and there was, I think, like 7 seconds left on the shot clock, and we needed 2 more points to go into overtime. I remember getting the ball, driving around, and when I picked the ball up, I remember feeling the momentum throughout my body just to jump up and over my defender to get the ball in the net. And that's an amazing feeling. I would want to say it's equivalent to dunking, but I have not dunked yet. But hopefully one day it'll come.
So, yeah, that's something that just I can't relate to, when you're just in that moment and something inside you,
yes,
gets you to that next level, to get you to the bucket, to force overtime. And, it's been a wild season. You guys started the year 1-9, I believe. Was there ever a point, maybe even for a moment or for a day or for a week, however long, where there was a little doubt that crept in? And how did you kind of resolve it?
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I don't think there was ever a doubt that we weren't going to get everything together. Like, I always knew that we're such a strong team. Like, we have Sofia Jurosevic, Emily Frankovic, Grace Amendolia, a whole bunch of other key players on the team. And we know that we're capable of beating these teams, and we just needed to click, honestly. And the win against coming close against Ottawa, and then the win against, I think it was we won against Lakehead, and that was kind of just our awakening moments when we were just like, okay, this is possible, and we just need to keep pushing through.
There was one game, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? It was tied nearing the end of the fourth quarter. And then, why can't I remember the team? Is Ottawa, maybe? They got away with this travel.
Oh.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't have to talk about it, but I was like, they get away with this travel, they get a layup to force overtime, and then in overtime, someone else gets away with the travel, mm-hmm, they miss a 3, they hit a layup at the buzzer, yes, to beat you guys. That could break a team, especially when you're trying to make this unlikely run to get back into the playoff, mm-hmm, race. That locker room that night, Can you take us inside as to what was felt in that moment and how you guys kind of move forward?
Yeah, honestly, we were all disappointed, but at the same time, like, it's OUA basketball. Moments like this do happen, and we're all very aware of that. So I think just knowing that this is, just keep on having the move forward mentality, that our next game we're going to be able to take our mistakes from last game and being able to fix them to next game, whether it was a travel or not. Just not letting ourselves.
It was a travel, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. Keep going.
Just not letting ourselves get to that point where we're relying on the refs in that way.
It's a good place to be. All right, so you start off 1-9. You're 8-4 since, if my math is correct. You got one game left in the season. Right now, you said outside the playoff picture, but you got one game left. You got to win, and you may be able to make the postseason.
Yes.
What are you looking forward to most in this season finale? How excited are you for this last game of the year?
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to playing Brock again, honestly. When that comes, I want to play Madeline Weiner again, because I think that was a really competitive game. And just being able to go up against last year's OUA MVP was honestly a big point to make, I would say.
You're not someone who gets intimidated. You look forward to facing the best.
Yes.
It's great. You can see it on the court. You can see it in your demeanor. You're competitive. You're obviously putting up incredible stats. You've had a great year. And hopefully it continues with a win and a little bit of luck from the other teams so you can get into the postseason. But for now, Tayler, I want to say thanks so much for coming in. Good luck with the rest of the season. And no matter how it goes, I'm sure the rest of your McMaster basketball career is going to be awesome.
Thank you so much.
That is Tayler Scott, first-year forward superstar for the McMaster Marauders, and that is your Sportsline podcast for the day. As you've just seen and heard, we love talking sports. If you know an athlete, team, or event to promote, the Sportsline podcast wants to hear from you. Please hit the thumbs up, like, and subscribe button if you have something to say. For the wonderful people that make the Sportsline podcast possible, thank you, and we'll see you next time.